Hello, and welcome to another ramble. So, today's topic is kind of fuzzy for me. I'm not quite sure what I really want to talk about, but I did want to visit a topic that kind of circulates around self worth. And I've probably made videos on this in the past, but it's always good to revisit a topic. It's kind of like revisiting a book or a movie. You know, every time you rewatch or reread something, you are apt to view things differently, or even like see or extract information that you wouldn't have if you did it the first time. Does that make sense? I have a oh, I don't know if that makes sense. I think you understand, and if you don't, I'm sorry. Um, I think we can attribute that to growing and evolving and garnering tools to view life through different perspectives, because this is a very multi-dimensional space, or you are a multi-dimensional being, so there are more than one or two ways to view something. um so self-worth, if you're watching this video, probably it's because you are a people pleaser, or somebody who overgives or overloves or overcares or over everything, which is pretty extremist if you think about it. The only reason I can speak on these things is because I have experienced that firsthand. It's a very unhealthy habit, and it's very disempowering for you and for the opposing party, because you are practicing very extreme, how do I say? You're basically codependent. And when you overlove and overgive and over everything, you have a tendency to lose your identity and lose your self-worth and lose your value as a person, and lose a lot of other things in the meantime. And I think that's why a lot of like hypersensitive and people pleasing people, how do I say? They're always wondering why bad things are happening. It starts with you. It really does. It starts with you and how you operate in the world, and how you function, and your belief system, and your coping mechanisms, and you know how much work you've done as far as facing traumas. But it's all interconnected. And I don't know, if you think about it, it's a very extreme way of existing. And so in order to balance it out, you have to apply the opposing spectrum of that. Does that make sense? Because it's all about balance, and I think everybody is striving towards balance. We haven't been taught that, and we haven't really been supported in that regard, but I think everybody is striving towards balance. Balance is when everything is aligned. There's no confusion, there's no pain, there's just everything just kind of flows effortlessly, and everything works out the way it's supposed to work out, and we honor that. We come a place of honoring that. It's a form of respect, I suppose, but the respect has to come from you first. And my question to you is, do you respect yourself? And if you do respect yourself, do you think it's okay for you to disregard your feelings, and disregard your well-being, and disregard your, the way you function in the world? I don't know if I'm making sense. I have a tendency to do that. Yeah, well, if you're not respecting yourself, then how can you expect to receive respect from external circumstances or people? So my whole thing, and it's also a very insincere way of being, because you're not being authentic, or you're not honoring that authentic aspect within yourself. Does that make sense? There's like just so much information. I'm just trying to like cram it into this video, and I don't know if I'm making sense. But yeah, I actually met up with a friend today, and I wanted to share the story because I just thought it was profound, and it actually helped me to kind of like shift my perspective. So she was saying something about she went to a retreat, a meditation retreat, and she paid a lot of money for this retreat, and so she was looking to receive a profound experience. And I guess one of the mentors at this retreat, he supposedly was successful financially, and he seemed to have things going well for him, and so she figured she should ask him for advice on how to do that. Like, how do you know become successful on a business level, as far as like, I don't know, living in the world goes. So she finally has this opportunity. She sees this person at the coffee station, and she tells him her story, and he looks at her and he tells her, well, she tells him her story and says, like, I've been trying to start a business. I've been pretty unsuccessful. I've tried many different ways and things just don't work out. Can you give me some advice? And this person tells her, well, when you approach these situations, are you thinking about them, or are you thinking about yourself? And I think a lot of times people like us, like highly sensitive people who are empathic, people who are people pleasers, people who don't have boundaries, people who don't know how to say no, people who go beyond and overextend their help and service and care, have a tendency to think of others first. And that's very noble, and that's a very interesting, and it's a very interesting way of functioning, I suppose, but it's not necessarily balanced, and I think it has a lot to do with conditioning as well, like social conditioning, like, to sacrifice yourself for others. But I've learned that that is a very unhealthy approach, because, yeah, I mean, that's why your life is the way it is. It's because you've been thinking of everyone else first. And it depends on where you're at, I guess, and the level of consciousness you're able to access. But yes, self-sacrifice is very, I want to say, noble. However, you also need to take into account that you are important too. And so much so that you shouldn't allow anyone to mistreat you or talk down to you or make you feel bad or, make you feel guilty. It's not okay. In fact, those are telltale signs that you are in the wrong space with the wrong people. You need to redirect yourself and find a place or people that support you. And I've said this in my videos before, it's very obvious signs. So if you are in a very toxic relationship, which is, I feel like, a form of self-abuse, because you're allowing others to mistreat you and use you and discard you and make you feel a certain way, you just need to redirect yourself. You need to reassess and redirect. I think people who are supportive, honor and respect you and your choices, Support. I already said support. Honor and support you, respect you. They are reciprocal. They don't just take from you or unload their baggage on you. They actually kind of like help you out. You know what I mean? And they're real and authentic. And they have no problem saying no. Like, no, I don't want to go to the party. No, I don't want to participate. No, I can't pick up your shift. No. You know? Because it's a form of self-care and self-love. And I think most of us are looking for love and care outside of ourselves, and we're trading our time and energy and attention for that, but it doesn't work that way. You can't give it away to everyone else outside of you and disregard your need for that love, care, and attention, because you are most indefinitely the most important person here. You know what I mean? So people who are good for you make you feel lighter, and people who are not good for you make you feel heavy and dense. And you know what I'm talking about, like heavy and dense, like depression, anxiety, fear, worry, guilt, all those low vibrational like emotions. That is a telltale sign that something is not aligned with you, and you need to reject that and redirect yourself. Now, if something feels right and light, then you'll feel more at ease, you'll feel peace, you'll feel clarity, you'll feel seen, you'll feel heard, you'll feel understood, supported, and there will be a reciprocated like energetic exchange versus just somebody just draining you or dumping their stuff on you. But it starts with you. You need to empower yourself. You need to learn when to say yes, when to say no, and stop overextending and stop overgiving, because you are worthy and you're worthy. So stop giving so much of yourself away in order to, get nothing in exchange. You need to like learn that. I feel like the highest form of self-care and self-love is empowering others. But first, you have to empower yourself. And if you're going through life and things aren't working out, and you're surrounded by people who are very demeaning, then you really need to take a look at what it is within yourself that believes, because it's all belief systems. What is it within yourself that you believe, to attract such people into your life? A lot of it has to do with like insecurities and self-worth issues, and social conditioning, and if you're HSP, you just want to make everyone happy, because usually when the people around you are happy, you kind of vibe on that frequency, and if they're not happy, then you kind of feel bad. But then that's a lack of boundaries. You have to be able to differentiate whose energy is whose, and most of the time it's not yours, and it's not yours to carry. It's all about like implementing boundaries, respecting how somebody chooses to be, and letting them be that, and creating space for you to function and for them to function, and not taking it personally and not reacting. It's just so complex. And I don't know if this video made sense. But thank you for watching, and I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I hope you are becoming and living your best life ever. And you have that power, or you're giving that power away to someone else. And it just feels so much better when you have that power, when you've aligned with your inner power, and you can decide and choose what you will accept, what you will not accept, and execute that decision. Because you are important and you are worthy too. If you learned something, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. Blessings to one and all. Amen.